Do you know how in a lot of countries around the world there is this rivalry between the major cities about which one is the best? For example, New York versus Los Angeles, Rio de Janeiro versus Sao Paulo, Madrid versus Barcelona. And we kind of expected that the same would happen in South Africa, because on one hand there's the massive landlocked city Johannesburg, and then on the other hand there's the much more laid-back coastal city Cape Town. But that is not what happened. In fact, ever since we arrived in South Africa, everybody kept telling us how much we're gonna love Cape Town.
So hearing this for the last 3 months, it's not hard to imagine that our expectations for Cape Town are like this high. So today we're gonna find out if Cape Town really can live up to these expectations.
We are Nick and Lens. For the last 5 years, we have been blogging and vlogging about nature's traveling. And now we embarked on an epic journey to experience naturism in every continent of the world. Subscribe to travel along with us. Right now, we are in Africa.
Cape Town is home to Sandy Bay, one of the most famous nude beaches in all of South Africa. So that was obviously our first stop.
Sandy Bay is really a beautiful beach, but we didn't film a lot because there were a lot of people, and also we were there with the Western Cape Naturist Association, and we just wanted to hang out with them and enjoy the beach.
I hope that these shots give you some kind of an impression what Sandy Bay looks like, and if you really want to know, you just have to get over there. The next stop on our itinerary was the most iconic place of Cape Town. The weather was not particularly promising when we drove towards Table Mountain, and the clouds might restrict our views, but yeah.
There's only one way to find out.
Got in.
So your return tickets, keep them safe. You lose your ticket, it is a long walk, freedom.
This way?
This way.
You're the guide?
Yes. Do I look like a guy?
A little bit.
I don't have an umbrella.
It seems like we did pick a good day to visit Table Mountain after all, because the clouds do not reach the top and the views are absolutely spectacular. It's funny, as soon as you walk away from the part where you arrive at the top, there are much less people here. It's almost as if everybody just stays where they arrived. It's still a bit misty over the sea and over the other mountains, but it gives it a bit of a mystical atmosphere, don't you think?
Yeah.
Over there in between the clouds is Robben Island, where Nelson Mandela was imprisoned. Seen from the air, Cape Town reminds me a lot of Rio de Janeiro, with the mountains inside the city and the long coastline where everything is happening. And I actually just realized that they are on the same ocean. They are both on the Atlantic Ocean, Rio de Janeiro and Cape Town.
But they don't have like the big Christ here on top of Table Mountain.
No, that's something they're missing.
Yes.
And what else I'm missing is a little bit of a samba beat. All in all, I would say that the Table Mountain is definitely worth its money because it gives some great views. It also gives you an idea of the shape and the size of Cape Town. But it's also it's like a bucket list item. It's such a thing that you do once and then probably never again. I can't imagine that if we come back to Cape Town that we will pay another 400 rand to go up the mountain again. We've seen it. So what is our next stop?
The park? Okay, we're in. Now what? Let's have a look.
When we asked around what maybe the less touristy things are to do in Cape Town, the things that people from Cape Town like to do, Kirstenbosch Park came up a couple of times. And I thought like, yeah, great, a park. We like to be in parks in cities. It gives you an idea of what people do on a free day. But apparently this is not a typical city park. It's a huge place, you have to pay entrance fee, and there are lots of things to do. This is definitely not a typical city park. The shade is welcome.
Oh, absolutely.
We didn't have that on Table Mountain.
It's so hot in here. Want a drink?
I'm a little bit disappointed that this is not the kind of small cozy city park that I expected, but I can totally get why people from Cape Town recommended this place to us. It's a green oasis right at the foot of the Table Mountains. It's just 15 minutes drive from downtown Cape Town, and if we had been smarter we would have brought some kind of sheet and a bread,
Wine.
and a bread of wine and fruits and cheese, but I guess we're not that smart. Today is already our last day in Cape Town and we're going to do what's probably the most touristy thing that one can do in Cape Town or anywhere else in the world. We are not really used to, this is really annoying to talk with these things. We are not really used to taking the hop-on, hop-off bus very often because we prefer to walk in cities. But Cape Town is such a large city and the sites are so widespread that it's much easier to take this kind of transportation. This is where Sandy Bay is, and it's really cool because the guide here also mentioned it on the hop-on, hop-off bus that this is the unofficial nude beach of Cape Town. This is a super scenic road with the Table Mountain National Park on one side and the ocean on the other. And it's the same road that we took yesterday when we went to Table Mountain, but then it was cloudy and now we get to see it in a much better weather.
And because I'm not driving, at least now I can enjoy the view actually.
Here's an interesting fun fact about the ocean water temperature, which I just heard in the AirPods. Actually, it's colder during the summer than during the winter, and that's because during the summer the ice in the Antarctic melts, so it brings cold water to here. Who would have guessed? We've mostly been following the western side, the western coast of Cape Town until now, and it's a very beachy place. It's where the rich people come to live and the Instagrammers come to take pictures. It's not really our thing, but I can imagine why people would move to these beaches.
That was close.
This looks like a nice place to stop. I'm not really sure which area of Cape Town this is. I was not really listening. But it's nice with the boulevard, it's lots of people walking. And there's some nice photo art along the way.
We just found this beautiful park, and I think like this is the kind of park you were looking for yesterday, isn't it?
This is exactly the kind of park I was looking for yesterday. This is the kind of park where you can just sit for hours and watch people. But now that we have tickets for the hop-on hop-off bus, that sounds a little bit of a ridiculous idea. That's a pity. Why didn't nobody recommend this to us? We'll probably get off one stop further. Do we walk or do we take the bus?
We can flip a coin to the side? No?
It's beautiful weather.
It's true.
And we need more steps. Let's walk.
Okay, let's walk.
Maybe we should just have taken the local bus to here and then walk all the rest. But yeah, we could not know.
True, but if you take a local bus, you don't get all the fun facts.
But if you walk, you also don't get all the fun facts.
Ah yeah, no, that's also true.
The downside of not taking the bus and walking instead is that we don't really have such a good idea of where we are going. We heard a lot about an area of Cape Town that's called Waterfront. So I guess that if we keep following the ocean, we'll probably get there, or maybe not. I gotta say that it does feel good to be walking around. South Africa is not really known as the safest place in the world, and especially in cities you often have to be very careful. But here in Cape Town, and especially at the water side, it looks quite okay. There are lots of people walking around, jogging, and it's really nice to be walking in a city again. You will probably notice that we are skipping a very important part of Cape Town in this video, and that is the wine region. And I know it's totally against our nature, but our time is limited here and we already tasted so much wine throughout our trip through South Africa. So for once, we are gonna do other things, except for right now.
And also having a wine here at the beachfront with the view of the Table Mountain is not a bad alternative, to be honest.
I'm quite surprised by the architecture of Cape Town. From the top of Table Mountain, the whole center looked very modern and glass buildings. But when you drive through it, there's a lot of the colonial style left. We are back where we started, in Hout Bay, a little bit earlier than expected, but the round trip was round. If this place looks familiar to you, that is very well possible, because this is where we also edited our previous video. But it's totally different because the weather is so much better. We're literally just off the bus and Linz is already in the water. Hey, we have to end the video.
Ah yes, coming!
I think I can say that we have not fallen in love with Cape Town.
But yet, because we never fall in love with a city after just a couple of days.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
We've only been able to scratch the surface, and I think that Cape Town is definitely a place where we would like to come back more times for longer periods, so maybe we can fall in love with it eventually.
Who knows?
But it's not gonna be for now, because tomorrow we're boarding a plane. But we are not leaving South Africa yet. We still have one stop to go. We are going back to Johannesburg because there's one more naturist place that we want to visit. So if you don't want to miss that,
make sure to subscribe to our channel and put on your notifications, then you just get a notification every time that we have a new video. And if you like this video, please give us a big fat thumbs up, and we just see you next week in our new video. Bye!
bye. You got to be kidding me. Come on, I thought we were gonna have a drink.
I like being in the water.
But the water is cold, it's not fun in the water.
It's lovely, it's absolutely lovely. Lovely.